Hello there. This is your old pal Grover. And today I'm going to talk to you about near and far. In fact, I, little furry Grover, am going to show you near and far. Okay, here goes. First, this is near.
You guys can hear me okay though, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is far.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Are you doing that on purpose?
Oh, I was just messing with my my knob, that little knob thingy.
Whoa.
I'll get there, hold on. This is near. And now you understand.
Ben.
Sorry.
So anyway.
Episode 17!
So hi!
Yay.
Huzzah! Okay.
We're back after a hiatus of sorts.
Yes.
But a forced one.
A forced hiatus
An
of
involuntary one.
the medical ward.
Yes.
If anybody remembers that time that I said that Dan is on well, no, you guys wouldn't because that was on a different podcast. Oh my god, I'm a jerk. So, I talked about that. I guested on the Future Monkeys podcast, which is where I came from.
What a jerk.
I know. I was a jerk. I guested, whatever. I was on that podcast. This didn't get awkward. Good job, me. Yeah. I'll go back over here and try this again.
Those castrations.
Take two. Yes, anyway, I did talk about Dan being on his merry-go-round of sickness.
Yes.
Guess what? I went on another ride.
Yes. Dan has not gotten off of the merry-go-round of sickness. In fact, I think he's putting more quarters in.
It's like that one friend that's like, hey, we should go ride that ride. And you're like, it's not really that good. Like, well, we should. You're a good friend, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, all right. And then like 5 hours later, they're like, we need to buy more tickets, man. Let's go.
Like, for the love of God, I don't want to ride this ride anymore. There's vomit and fevers. I can't do it.
Because if I don't, I'll start crying.
Well, at any rate, Dan's on the merry-go-round of sickness. Ben's got a concussion.
There was that part somewhere in Dan's marriage vows where there's sickness and health, and he's really playing that sickness card really bad right now.
Yeah, I think we highlighted that with yellow highlighter. Make sure.
You did say right here, it's signed.
It's legal, damn it.
That doesn't mean you're obligated to have sickness. Somebody has misinterpreted this document.
But enough about me.
Yes.
Please.
Speaking of Dan, hello, Dan.
Hi.
Ben is here somewhere. Are you still with us, Ben? Uh-oh.
Don't tell us the concussion just took him out.
Ben needs a Snickers.
Fall
Got
asleep
one shot in the nose.
Would you take a knee to the nose and then all of a sudden...
Ready for a nap.
Well, I don't know what happened to him.
Take 3.
Ben. Oh my god, he really did step away.
He's probably on mute.
Oh, he really stepped away and didn't tell us.
Thank you, Facebook Messenger.
Well, forget it. His introduction is done.
All right, let's go, guys. Are we ready? I'm back. Sorry about that.
And show intro. Thank you once again, Ben. Take the heat off of me.
Oh, I thought you guys were... I left you guys talking about stuff. I thought we weren't starting. My bad.
Oh, we were in the process of starting, and then we were like, and then there's Ben, and...
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Crickets.
It's okay.
In our defense, the whole point of the show is kind of talking about stuff, so...
True that. Yeah, you're right.
That
My
is
bad,
kind
guys.
of what we do here. We talk about stuff.
Not to split hairs or anything.
Welcome back.
I have no idea where the intro to this show has gone and where it started and where it will end. But here we all are.
Figure it out. That's
Hello,
what post-production's for.
That's Dan's
I don't know why we're laughing, but I'm going to join in.
me. Oh, well, boy, do we have an exciting show lined up for you today. Oh, hi, Josh. I didn't
Hi.
introduce you.
That's okay.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That guy, he's here too.
This idiot. Also here.
The Monster Hunter lover.
It's his favorite.
Oh yeah. We hang out. Hey, on good news though, I did sell that and ship it out to somebody, so somebody else is enjoying it now.
Nice.
You're welcome, RC.
Is he enjoying it?
I don't know.
I haven't
Probably not. He's
really
probably
seen him-
cursing the heavens with it.
I haven't really seen him online since then, so
Kids these days.
anyway.
With
So
their Hunter Munter.
Hunter. Let's talk about something that is actually something. So let's start with now playing.
Let's do the thing.
Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Go ahead, Jen. You never go first.
Oh, I know. I don't ever go first. That is an accurate statement. Oh, fine. If you're going to make it difficult. Mine's going to be long, though. Is that okay?
I probably have time to get a sandwich quick. All right, go for it. I'll be back.
This crazy face. Dog gift?
And we know that Ben is still feeling fine.
Oh yeah. I've had a little bit of Motrin, and I'm halfway into a cactar or whatever they're called. Oh.
Which literally only us is aware of, Ben,
Oh yeah.
as a beverage. But it's a yummy beverage.
It is delicious.
Sounds pointy.
Well, with the tequila that Ben puts in it, it is pointy.
1,000 needles kind of pointy.
Montezuma.
10,000 needles kind of pointy.
Coming to a gas station near you.
It's a giant cactuar.
Thank you for someone got it. Thank God. I was like, come on, Jen, help me out here.
I'm flying over it right now.
I was there, Dan. Of course I understood what you were trying to say. I summoned lots of cactuars in Final Fantasy VIII.
Whoa.
Oh shit! I thought you were talking about WoW. God damn it! I'm flying over 1,000 needles right now, dude. It's not 10,000.
Well, that works too.
Oh. I guess there is a zone for you
Indeed
WoW
there is.
types. All right. Now playing. What is Jen playing? Hunter Munter. We know that's a thing.
Such an interesting snack. So crunchy.
Delicious.
All jokes aside, though, I'm actually very curious. How would you rate your excitement level? Not excitement level, but just your overall pleasure of the game from initial launch when we first talked about it to now, on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being when you first talked about it. Where are you at right now?
I mean, I'm still as happy with it as I was, I think.
Nice. Very cool. Oh, yeah, it wasn't a trick question. Sorry, I didn't mean to seem like I was leading you or anything. I was just curious.
I'm pretty sure that totally. I was waiting for the.
Where's the catch?
Why are you asking me
I
this?
did not have my finger hovering over a button. I promise you.
No, I don't.
No soundbite was on cue.
Not even.
Not yet, but now that I've referenced that, there's a soundbite on cue.
Oh, but other than that, been playing some Rocket League. Been playing a tiny amount of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Only whenever we
Got to
drag
the
you into
freaking,
second place.
Final pair.
Drag
That's
me
fucking
into-
amazing.
You drag me into second place? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Who was in control?
Hey, we dragged you into playing the game, and you came in second place.
Oh, that is
Dragged
that is
you into
accurate.
second place.
I did,
Just
in fact.
saying.
And it was stressful. That last couple minutes was stressful.
You know, it was pretty stressful watching too. It's nerve wracking. Fucking game is crazy.
I mean, you haven't lived until you have Josh and Ryan talking in your ears, telling you to do two different things.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, stop!
So
It's just like that one. What was it? What were you playing? We're like, Jen, go here to the left. And you're like, what? And turn to the right. You're like, no.
every so often you hear some "fuck you, Jen."
That's because that is because you guys said go to the left, right? There was like two different words in there.
It was go around the corner and go to the left. What?
Man, if I was watching, I would have started playing the cha-cha slide for you.
No.
Anyway.
We're not going to talk about that again. I think we've already had that conversation.
Slide to the left.
Probably on this show. So that's enough of that. Fortnite, though, yes.
Everybody clap your hands.
I had my moment of almost glory with second place. Notice how hard I'm ignoring these two.
Probably a good idea.
I don't know if I said Rocket League, but Rocket League.
You said a little bit of Rocket League.
I said Rocket League. Okay, so Rocket League is handled. I've been playing Okami HD because it was on sale.
Noise.
And I had to tell you, I played it on Wii originally. Like, I had it way back in the day when it first came out, and I loved it then. And I love it now. I'm torn on whether or not I really think it's better or worse with the controller versus doing the little motion thing. It is kind of nice not to have to like try to do painting with the Wiimote because the Wii.
Yeah, that's what I was curious to hear about it too. Is like does it feel as good as it did back then? Like, is it like a romantic version of it they had from back then when you're replaying it? Did it age well or not? But
yeah,
I think it did. I think it actually did.
Good.
The controller suits it. I was a little worried about how weird and wonky that would be because it was motion controls originally. But it's actually very fluid and possibly easier to deal with than trying to do it with the motion controls.
Yeah, I guess I plan on picking it up at some point too, just because I remember enjoying it a lot back then.
It feels a tiny bit clunky. Like, I think you can tell that it wasn't made modern. Like, it was not made on the PS4, but it's still really good.
Plus 4K.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love this game so much. There is nothing that is quite as satisfying as reviving one of those cherry blossom trees and then, like, the entire world around it becomes green again.
Yeah.
Like, it is just, oh, God, I don't know what it is, man. It just warms my heart of stone.
So for the people who don't know, and myself included, can you give us like a few second synopsis of what it is?
Okami. Yes, I certainly can. So Okami it's a game. It is a, it's like a...
Thanks, good job.
It's like a very Japanese...
I just got that. That's a game.
It's a very Japanese-themed story where, like, there's a demon named Orochi or Orochi. I don't really know how you say it. I'm probably saying it wrong. Doesn't matter. But he's back, and he's covered the world in this dark poison stuff. And there's
dark
this
goo.
Sacred cherry blossom tree that supposedly has roots that go all throughout Japan.
Huh.
And it's supposed to protect the world, but it's covered in this poison, so it's not able to do its job. So you are the god Amaterasu, which I am also saying wrong. I guarantee it. Somebody out there is cringing.
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
Orochimaru.
But she's a wolf, and you learn these brush techniques. So, like, you use your tail as a sacred magic paintbrush, and you learn these brush techniques as you go along, and they allow you to do things like there's a slash, and there's one that you can create a bomb and blow open secret passages, and then there's the one that revives the cherry blossom trees, and there's a bunch of different ones. But you go through, and you learn all your brush techniques and you progress, and it's got a lot of personality. Like, the characters are all very fun. It talks a lot. That, I think, is the big problem that I have with it, is that you can skip a lot, or you can speed up a lot of the dialogue, but as soon as it hits something that it thinks is a meaningful, quote unquote, cutscene, you can't speed that dialogue up, so like it can be a little bit painful. But
Gotcha.
it's not bad enough to where I would stop playing the game forever or anything like that. It's just a little bit like slow in some places. The action part is actually really fun, running around the field and then fighting monsters and stuff.
Nice.
I really like
it. And I googled the pronunciation. It is tiramisu.
That's
a great dessert, man. Love that shit.
I know.
That's dessert. Thank you, Dan.
Shitty joke denied.
Thank you, Dan.
He was just really hungry at the time.
I do. Tiramisu. I'm a tiramisu.
Oh, God. I think I'm hemorrhaging. I can't wheeze right now. Oh, God.
Ben. Don't die, Ben.
Definitely going to be rough times if you can't wheeze. Just saying.
I'll figure something out.
Yes, it's going to be terrible. What will we ever do?
Terrible misu. There it is.
That's almost as good as all of the NieR Automata puns. Anyway, so that's Okami.
Stay tuned for those.
Stay tuned for those. Coming soon to a podcast
If you didn't see
near
this
you.
one coming.
Anything else on Okami that you guys want to know? Did I not say something that I should have said? I think we're good.
I think it depends if Ben is still bleeding or not at this point.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just wondering. You guys get really passionate about this stuff, and I'm interested, so I just kind of want to know a little bit of a backstory as well, just to, get an understanding.
I mean, I'm happy to talk about these things, obviously. It's a good game. I highly recommend it. And it seems to pop up on sale pretty semi-frequently. So,
right on.
Yeah, definitely.
Fairly often.
Fairly often. And the one that I really wanted to talk about that I was going to actually spend some time on, the Secret of Mana remake.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to hear your 2 cents.
The Secret Manor.
The Secret Manor. Secret of Manor. Manor. Reviews are not good. They do not. It seems like the big gaming sites do not like the Secret of Mana remake. And I'm just going to say, my stance is I don't understand the hate. I don't get it. I've played probably 2 or 3 hours in. I've got all 3 characters now. I've been through a couple of bosses, I've seen enough to see how everything seems to flow and work.
Mm-hmm.
There are some minor things about it, like it doesn't. They say that it doesn't remember your position in the ring menus. I haven't gotten to like the real point where you use magic and stuff yet, to where that would bother me. So maybe maybe that will drive me crazy.
Even that was an option in the first one, wasn't it? To have it remember there, like, or to default, or to go back.
Yeah, and
I feel like that was a personal choice anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it. I don't know yet on this one, on the remake. There are things about it that I think are less good. Like when you go shopping for equipment, it doesn't show you even what the defense value is for things anymore. I tried to remember, and I meant to look it up, but I forgot. I think when you would buy equipment in the original, it would at least show you the number for what the defense was. It wouldn't tell you if it was better or worse than what you were wearing, but you could at least see the number. This one doesn't even give you that. You just have to kind of...
I can't remember now either.
Yeah, I really can't. That's kind of a strange choice, I think, for them not to at least give you the number or tell you if it's better or worse. The equipment menu is a little bit nicer in some ways. It's really about, like, it's just aesthetic on some of that stuff, but some of the complaints, like, people complain about the fact that the characters' mouths don't move. And
well, I mean, come on. I mean, for the price that you're paying the game too, it's not a like AAA budget game. It's not a AAA price point on it either. So there's some corners they're going to cut.
Like that's anybody who's played a JRPG from like the PS3 era, where things were produced a little faster, maybe not quite as high budget, and even I think some of the ones now are still like this. You would get like character portraits with, it would be voiced dialogue, but you would get like a character portrait, and it wouldn't move. It would just be the character, and then you'd see what they were saying. So it's kind of along those lines, and get over it. It's not a big deal.
It seems like a minor detail for it to be like a contentious point about a game.
Yeah, it's nitpicky.
Yeah,
very nitpicky. It is a little weird on the combat. Like, you don't feel like you hit as hard as you do. I remember in the original, when you would hit things, there was like a sound, and it felt like you really whacked something. But you don't really get that so much with this one, and I think that's a little sad. But not enough to where it's a game killer. Again, there's nothing here that's a game killer to me. It's very, very bright and pretty and colorful and smooth. Like, I think it's pretty. It maybe doesn't have quite the same personality as the original, but it's like, it's fine. Everything is vibrant and clean and smooth. There's nothing weird going on here. It's just the same game made a little more cartoony-esque, kind of.
And in terms of the combat, is it like is it still like the four directions that you're fighting in, or is it like 360 now because you're used
360 now?
Okay, no, that's kind of
makes it a little interesting. It's harder to aim things like the bow. Like distance weapons, I don't know about that.
Gotcha.
I didn't really like them anyway, so that wasn't necessarily something that was going to bother me too much. But like, I tried to use the bow briefly, because what I've noticed is there's one of the earlier areas that you get to is the haunted forest, and there are these little what are they called? They're like little foxy dudes with bows, little archers, and they're like little death machines now, man. You gotta get in there fast and take them out, because they will decimate you. They just rapid fire shooting arrows like, yeah, we're on crack over here. Like, oh my god, you are so cute, and I hate you so much. I can't with you guys and that. So, that's a little different, and they can shoot 360 now, so it's like you have to really pay attention to where they're shooting and what's going on. Yeah, I had a little bit of an issue with those guys. Other things that are a little odd, your 3D polygon characters now, when you go in a store, the shopkeeper still dances.
Nice.
So the first time you roll through Pandora, there's this sad music playing. Like, it's bad things are happening here, and it's sad, and you go in a store, and there's the shopkeeper just bebopping, waving those arms, swinging in circles, like, and they're faster than the original game characters, I feel. So, like, he just looks like he is on 7 kinds of meth behind the counter, like, yeah. You're like, oh my god. Somebody do something about this guy. This is so weird. It's like it just didn't translate very well. It did the remake, but it's okay. It's just funny.
It's pretty sad outside, but all these guys just got back from a Fish concert, so.
That one especially is bad because it absolutely doesn't go. The music that's playing, it's like...
But I'm just so happy, man.
I can't have this, the joy inside. The joy in my soul. Dancing. Oh, but the music is terrible. That's the one thing.
That's what I heard too. That's like a common complaint.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I was like, there's something else I'm missing here. The music is awful. Awful.
Atrocious.
And for anyone who knows me, they would know that Secret of Mana is like one of my favorite things ever. And that includes the music. That game, it's just like magical. The original music in the game and everything about it, I just loved it. But the music that they remade, and I just don't know why they made the choices that they did. It sounds so bad. But fortunately, you can switch it to the original music. Thank God. Because otherwise, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do it. It's the one thing that's just bad. So bad.
So all in all, the reviews are harsh on things that you can kind of ignore or fix, kind of.
Yeah. Like I don't understand why it's so negative. I think to a certain extent, some of these people, maybe they were expecting. I don't know. I don't know what they were expecting. Like maybe they felt like since it's a Square game, it should have been, they should have turned it into a Final Fantasy or something. Like that level of budget and quality. And I'm like, I don't think that anybody should have expected that to happen.
Did you say it was a remaster or a remake?
It's a remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
maybe they were expecting something more. Like I know with the Final Fantasy VII remake that that one has a lot of hype, and I'm kind of worried that's going to flop too. But it looks completely.
That one
different than the
also
original.
Has a lot of budget, though.
Yeah, that's the apples and oranges.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a budget thing. Cool. Gotcha.
I mean, that would be my assumption. I don't think that Square sat down and said, we're going to make this into a AAA game. Now we're just going to slap a new coat of paint on it, basically, and put it out there and see what happens. Like, I don't know enough to know what part of the studio, part of the
Does it feel like a remake, though? Like, would you say it's a remake, or would you say it's a remaster?
Does it feel like the same game all over again, or are they adding more stuff into it that adds value to it?
It is the same game. It's the same game.
So,
gotcha.
I would say a remaster then?
Yeah.
Or a remake or not a reimagining.
Yeah,
whereas Final Fantasy VII looks like they're changing a fair bit of it. It's not going to play the same.
That one is a literal remake in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
This is more. I mean, it's a remake in the sense that they had to do it from the ground up. Like they couldn't have reused anything. But it's not different. Like they just remade the same game, and it looks a little different. And it's got, they changed the dialogue a little. I think they might have retranslated and added some things. And you have, cutscenes now when you go to an inn and some story stuff has happened. There's a little interaction between your characters to kind of recap you on what's been happening. And that's kind of neat. You get a little more, real personality of your people, some more character development.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not bad. It's not the best thing I've ever played in my life, but it's not bad either. And if you like the original, you'll probably be okay with it.
Yeah, it's just not the shit show that at least the critics seem to be making it out to be.
Yeah.
What were they giving? What ratings was it getting? How bad?
I don't know if I saw number scores. I just read articles. I think it was Polygon and who was the other one?
I think Kotaku as well. I think maybe even IGN. I think pretty much everyone had
maybe it was IGN.
The 6 or 7 out of 10 kind of stance on it, which seemed a little rough.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I like it. I haven't played it since the original 3 hours that I've spent on it because I've had other things. Because gamer ADD kicking in hardcore here, but
it's a thing, people. It's a disease.
Gamer math. You had to ADD and subtract.
Oh my god.
And ADD and subtract yourself from life.
Around here, it's only ADD. It is never subtract. And quick mention to pit people, but we'll talk about that later. All right.
All right.
And
Nice.
I'm done. Whoever wants to go next. I'm done talking for a minute.
Mine has been relatively close to uneventful because it has been a whole lot of Rocket League.
Yeah.
Playing all my little ranked games and things in that, so that's been fun. And a little bit of Fortnite here and there. I did play the freebie, the Bombing Busters, because I saw it and I immediately thought Bomberman, which it's actually just a big rip off of that. So I was correct. Other than having like the equivalent of somebody in the corner that's yelling at you about how bad you're doing or good you're doing or what you still need to do. It's not bad. But other than that, I really haven't played too much. Really those two were in my wheelhouse. I did watch my kid for about 2 minutes play Mighty Number 9, which I hear everybody saying is bad. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it an opportunity later. I think Dan's got an update there.
I wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing.
We'll see what's up. I figure I'll give it 5 minutes.
Go nuts. Let's just put it this way. I would have given Monster Hunter another try over wasting your time on Mighty Number 9 and knowing how much you love Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah. I did play.
Oh, I didn't know you changed your mind, man. That's awesome. Play with us again.
About that. I did play Bloodborne a little bit. I didn't get too crazy into it, just far enough where I could kill a few things and feel good about it. But still kind of learn on the controls, and it seems like it's kind of the controls are going to be a little bit to get over for that one, but I mean, so far it's okay. We'll see where that goes. Of all things, talking about freebies too, a buddy of mine told me to go pick it up, and I downloaded Brawlhalla.
Oh, I've been wondering about that.
It is pretty much just Smash Brothers with different characters.
Huh.
Same type of dealio, except you get dropped in without your weapons. So you kind of have to melee fight for a bit until, a little like weapon crystal thing drops from the sky. And then whenever you pick it up, you get one of, every character has 2 sets of weapons. So, and you kind of get them at random. So you could get one weapon and feel all right with it and throw it at somebody. And then another crystal comes down and you get the second one, or that could be the same weapon back to back. It's kind of just randomly appears, but yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing for free.
Yeah.
You can't complain.
Yeah, I downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to try it out with you. So I'm curious because I read that I think Ubisoft bought up the studio that made it too. So it's I don't know if they're seeing potential there or what. What else they've been working on, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Other than that, really the only other thing I've gone over is Crypto the Necrodancer, just playing that on the Vita here and there whenever I'm in between phone calls and things like that. And I also have Metal
It's so
Slug.
damn perfect on the Vita, that game.
Yeah, I also have Metal Slug 3 that I downloaded back at the Christmas time sale that loads over to the Vita, and that was one of the fun games from back in the day, so I'm kind of catching up with that and that a little bit here. I know whenever we start talking a little bit later about the freebies, we'll get into Ratchet and Clank, and I will have to hold off on that until that comes around because fanboy, so but we'll just do that. We'll go from there. Let's see here, Dan or Ben? Dan.
I can go. I was.
It's Ben.
Mine's very non-eventful as well. I got sucked into World of Warcraft again, thanks to Dan.
Hey, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I have nothing to do with it.
Something about free time, and I had checked, and then my wallet got all excited, and I was like, $12.99.
Stumbled on the resubscribe button.
Yeah.
I accidentally clicked it, and my credit card information was already in there.
Really bad muscle spasm, I can't help it. So I figured I'd keep playing, but it's amazing, man. I haven't touched World of Warcraft since I don't even remember. It's been a couple of years. And I loved it back then, even without the whole rating and guild aspect that Dan has described, and just sounds amazing, and pretty much how the game should be played in the end, or just in general. But now it's just, I know a lot of people are hating on the whole leveling system and how every zone is kind of matched to what you're at, your combat level or your essential. You basically everything can kill you, or everything's a challenge, which I think is amazing. It's what I loved about the game. It was a challenge. It's more slower pace. You actually get to use all your skills. You're not just killing everything in 2 hits.
I think that's a great change too.
Yeah,
I mean, as a veteran, like I would have maybe enjoyed that more about the whole leveling process, because it's easy to go in and kind of out level the stuff and breeze through it because it's easier. So this, adjusts to you, and you got to keep your gear up to date. It makes the, that whole leveling game more relevant.
Yeah, and I mean the grind, like, and unfortunately, that's the whole thing with Monster Hunter. Like, I love Monster Hunter. I think it's an amazing game. It's going places. It's got a future. I can't wait for the new stuff to come out. But the grind for me has kind of gotten a little stale. But the grind, what they did now with WoW, it's like everything it's fun again. It's entertaining. You're playing the game because you want to have fun. You want to hear these stories. You want to actually be, feel like a badass, not just, go through levels and levels and levels and kill things. But anyway.
Or do Chuck Norris jokes in Baron's chat, but No,
it's fun as hell. I'm having a blast right now. I just unlocked my my what's it called, the garrison, and it's pretty cool. It's a great story there.
And what level are you in that zone, just out of curiosity? Because now it's mind blowing to me that if you're like level 20 or 30 and you're doing Draenor.
I am 93.
Okay, so never mind. You're way up there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Nice. But oh no, what I did is I started a new character, and then I may have transferred my other character.
Gotcha.
He's a level 93 Drano user.
I was going to say, because you just started, I'm like, you're level 20 when I logged in during that free time, give you a little bit of gold, and I'm like, 93.
Well, the reason I started over was because it was just so long, and I wanted to ease back into things, and the starting zones are so endearing. Like, I love that shit. It's a charming little way to get back into it, and I was like, okay, I got the thing, I got my skills, I got the feel for it, everything, the story, boom.
Now let's get back into it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I finally got back to okay, I know where I'm at, I know who these people are, and it was seamless. It was great. I'm glad I did it. But so that's definitely got my hooks in me, and here and there I've been having a few drinks and listening to my buddy apparently is an incredible stand-up when it comes to Rocket League. Stand-up comedian. Best Christopher Walken impression, and describer of bodily fluids as well.
Oh God, please don't talk about that. We cannot talk about that.
I'm going to just forever thank God that I didn't purchase that milkshake at McDonald's last night.
Yes.
God.
I'm kind of just glad I missed that whole part of last night.
Yes.
I
don't ever scroll up in the chat, Dan. No.
Noted.
I get a kick out of chuckling at people that have like weak stomachs when it comes to that stuff. But man, there was a time last night where I'm like, there's got to be a few people that are just like, whoa.
No. I want to, but I don't think I should describe it. No, let's not.
No, don't. Like, I don't have a particularly weak stomach, except for very specific things. And
for
unfortunately,
the show's sake, let's not.
Unfortunately, the group knows what those very specific things are.
Oh God, I can hear it in my head again.
I'll phrase everything this way. So, I did go like 2 months ago to a magician's convention, which was awesome. And they had this guy that was a special guest, not officially. Well, he kind of does magic stuff. This guy named Kieran Johnson, who's in England. So unless you're
he's a
England,
badass.
He is a regurgitator. So literally he will just throw things up. And he referenced that he had to go get checked out by a doctor and scoped, and he was able to still do this with the scope in his throat. So whenever they were there, he picked out these candies and basically had swallowed them in a specific order and then let the crowd pick out what order he brought them back up. So just to give you an idea.
Nice.
And watching the amount of displeasure, I'll put it, of a lot of other people in the audience is about the equivalent of like where I thought last night's conversation was going to be with. Oh God. Just saying. Anyway,
not good.
now that you guys have a great mental representation of what our PlayStation parties look like.
Yep, that's accurate.
I think it got so bad that Ryan actually just rage quit. He was like, "I'm done. I'm done with this." And that was Ryan.
Wait, Ryan?
I don't know.
No, yeah. Ryan was like, "See you later. Good night, guys." And he just left.
Yeah,
he just disappeared.
He did just drop out awfully fast. So I don't know, but oh god. Between the actual nausea and then the laughing until I thought I was going to vomit and or die, yeah, it was an interesting night.
That is truth.
But yeah, that concludes my now playing.
Here's Tom with the weather.
Back to you, Josh.
Actually, it would have been Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For me, it's up until about 3 days ago. It's been Monster Hunter for every day since launch, so that's pretty much it for me. To answer the same question they asked Jen about where she sits later, I'm still at 10 out of 10. Like it's
right on.
I haven't enjoyed a game that much in years, probably since when I was playing WoW. Like I'm at the point now where I'm in like the real end game, and I'm tapering off how much I'm playing because I don't want to burn out on it.
Right.
But I'm farming the tempered elder dragons and all that. Like I'm at that point now, and where I'm viable with multiple weapons to do the end game stuff. So I'm kind of want to wait until the new DLC comes in, which are rumoring for sometime soon this month. Maybe within a week or two. So I'm kind of gonna play some other things for now.
Hell yeah!
And so yeah,
what's been your favorite weapon that you've gravitated now? I know you started out with the Charge Blade first, so
yeah, I started out with Charge Blade first, and I expected to stick to that indefinitely, and then I started messing with the bow and the hammer and the greatsword, and the greatsword, against my own expectations, has become my favorite.
Huh?
Because it's slow, it's clunky, but it hits like a truck. So when
Josh's favorite, then.
Yeah, it's all about knowing.
Absolutely.
I think had I tried it first, I wouldn't have liked it, and I wouldn't have gone back to it. But the fact that I tried it after playing 3 other weapons, like I know the fights better, I know how the monsters behave better, and I know where to position and take those swings, because it's all about trying to fit as much damage as you can in a certain window. And once you know what that window is, you get a much better feel for the weapon.
Oh, you can't move when you're charging, right? It's on the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you commit to a swing, it's going to happen. So it's,
shit! If you start with that weapon, you're like, fuck this.
No.
game.
It's definitely not for first timers. Like, and like I said, had I start with it first, I've been like, fuck no, I need to switch to something else.
Yeah.
But I'm settling in mostly on that one, except for the odd fight where I need something.
I almost said it.
Fuck you, Josh. Don't you dare.
You stay out of this.
I'm being nice to you guys whenever you're like, man, screw this, I'm going to have to change to something else. And I was like, a different game?
Nope. I haven't poured this many hours in a short window on a game.
That was my next question for Jen. What's your playtime, guys? I'm wondering.
I don't want to disclose mine.
Why not? If you're enjoying a game, there's nothing to be ashamed of. This is an audience that wants to know. This is an audience of gamers.
I'm probably played the most out of our extended circle of friends. No, actually, I take that back. I've seen a couple of other people post their screenshots with Seth and those guys, and they're like well ahead of me. Like we're talking hunter rank, like 120 and all that. I'm not there. I'm at 70 something, so I'm probably at about 160 or 170 hours now.
I'm about to find out. Give me a second.
Huh.
Did you guys, I didn't pay attention to all that. Did you add a bot into, like we were going in Destiny, where you could see what your PvE and PvP time and all that stuff?
No, this is like on your login, it shows you right away what.
You know what?
Your counter
the
is.
Discord app is working now. It should be, at least.
Oh.
I got an update a couple days ago saying that the new Monster Hunter World info and stuff was in beta, so it should be at least able to get those commands, so you should check them out.
No, we'll have to take a look at that for sure.
For all our listeners, we have a Discord server.
We do. We should. If it's on the show notes, we'll have to put it there.
Yeah, it is. Definitely put it there.
Our legion of fans.
Hey, buddy, we're talking about
all of you.
So, 197 hours, 17 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Damn. What rank are you?
55.
Good job, Jen. Congratulations, guys. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's awesome. I mean,
but that's what I wanted. What are you going to say? Because we both answer. What's your stance on it now, a month later?
Oh no, I mean, it's not like I was saying before. It is the pinnacle of what Monster Hunter is. Like, I think it's the best Monster Hunter game. I mean, I only played the. I guess I'm not really a person that can, say that, but I did play a lot of the Game Boy, not Game Boy. Jesus Christ, the DS one. What was it? Which one did we play together? Was it 4?
4 Ultimate.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that one a lot too, like to the point where I stopped when I got everything kind of thing. But it's one of those lifestyle games, and I know it's going to be so like contradictory or just hypocritical to say after I played Destiny until I like fucking hated it as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm one of those people that needs to take breaks. Like I need, like the same with Diablo. I love that, but I need a little time off to kind of get to miss it again and get back. And I mean, because it's a beautiful game, it's an amazing gameplay, but especially the fact that it doesn't have like an in between. It's all boss fights. It's all like go back to the town, very low impact. Let's regroup, craft things, or we have to farm for things. Let's get the new materials, then go back out there and 100%. Just all combat, all strategy, and then back to, there's no in between. And then after a while, it was kind of getting to me, like I needed a little bit of a break. Something else, just a different kind of game.
And that's totally fair. Like I wish I had that kind of self-restraint sometimes with some games, just because like I'll play it until I've finished everything, or I'll just quit it hard and never go back to it. Like I'm trying to pace myself is the wrong word. Like I haven't done all the side quests, where a lot of people have. I haven't hit 100 or rank 100 like a lot of people have. Like I've played enough that I know I like it and I know I'll enjoy it for a long time. So I don't want to just stick to it. I don't want to ignore other games like I did because of WoW back when I was active in that. So I applaud your self-restraint. No.
And I mean, in no way I don't think that I'm bashing the game at all. It's beautiful. It's awesome. 10 out of 10. The time that I have put in it, I don't regret at all. Like it's its own genre, really. I mean, there's no other game like it, and it's doing so great. I'm glad it is. A lot of success. So it's only going to be
Capcom's biggest selling game ever.
Is it selling now too, or is it just shipped?
I think. Well, if they're calling it their biggest selling one, I think they're comfortable saying it's the.
Right on.
I think it's shipped, but I think they're still calling it sales. But
right on. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's Capcom though. I mean, come on.
Well, Mega Man, Street Fighter, Resident Evil. It's a lot of good franchises there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
right. But they're niche franchises though. There were people that, back in the day played a lot of arcade games, Street Fighter 2, things like that, whenever Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and all those games were really killing the landscape, and most of the players were playing, at the old arcade with the joystick, that they didn't want to buy the joystick at home. There's going to be issues with that, throwing some of those things off there. But you go to the home version of things, people played Resident Evil, the very first one, pretty crazy for a bit there. But if it wasn't your style of game, if you didn't like the game movement and, kind of the survival portion of it, then, you didn't really get into it. So it's not like it's you put it out there that Monster Hunter is supposed to be kind of an everybody game, and they're trying to get into the every space section of that, whereas
I really don't think they are. Like honestly, if anyone say anything about Monster Hunter, it's not for everyone. Like we tried to force it on you because we wanted to include you with it, but like we knew that if you don't like it, it's not going to click with you. And I think veterans and new people alike will say that either you love it or you hate it.
Well, it's
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I just think
I'm just of the reference here that Capcom has been, with the exception of like Mega Man and things like that, which kind of took off early. Mm-hmm. They've always been kind of a, genre specific game. Street Fighter is going to be for your fighter group, and it's not going to be for your casual, gamer that's out there. Resident Evil is going to be for your survival horror style, like Silent Hill type of folks and all that, but it's not going to be for everybody. And it just seems like Monster Hunter was one of these, like Destiny was kind of an everybody thing. Call of Duty for a while there was a lot of people, but, then you mix that with, Diablo, you get the grind part of it in there, and it's, you're starting to kind of bring in those crowds that Capcom doesn't usually shoot for.
Yeah, that I'll definitely agree with.
So,
like, I think Destiny 2 being what it is definitely helped because you see streamers like Dado, like MTashed, and like Skill Up that we like a lot. That used to cover Destiny to varying degrees. Yeah, Bife too. I mean, like everyone was jumping on board on Monster Hunter, and Dado even straight to end game doing guides, like weapon guides and stuff like that. Like, I don't think anyone's really expecting him to ever stray from Destiny 2, but there it is. Oh. So I think got a lot of, word of mouth press just on that because, people that may have never been interested in it, they got it from streamers from other games that they were playing. So it didn't hurt it, that's for sure.
Like I said, I'll give it, I'll give it a just dues. There was Facebook posts and, the Facebook ads in between posts, and PlayStation was hyping it pretty heavy, and Capcom was hyping it pretty heavy. So the fact that I had like Loot Crate before, and I'm like a fan of the Mega Man page, and all that stuff combined, I saw Monster Hunter on my profile page in Facebook like 6 times a day. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right. And the fact that it got that much of a push, as opposed to other instances before where they had these titles that had already created themselves, like the Resident Evil, the Street Fighter, the Mega Man, that they didn't have to advertise too much. It was definitely a big, heavy, we need this push. So I can see where they were kind of marketing to that group or to that crowd. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
What are we talking about again?
Capcom sales.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think it came, like, there's a lot of things that happen at the right time for it. A couple of games, kind of flopping, and it just having a lot to. I think they couldn't afford for this game to flop, seeing as they were ditching the 3DS and going to consoles for the first time and making a PC port for this. They spent 4 years making this game, and I'm glad for Capcom that it's a hit.
What was the last AAA game that they released before Monster Hunter?
I want to say Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, right? Yeah, that did pretty terribly, right?
No, I think it did. I mean, the critics loved it.
Biohazard. Oh, hell yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was pretty.
I was thinking 6. Oh god, 6 that's the one that flopped, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of push for. Like 5 did pretty well, I think. I mean, not as much as a lot of people kind of expected it to be, but whenever 6 came out, people were like, "All right, this is going to be the big change up," and we're getting
revolutionized the series,
yeah, and not so much.
Actually,
I need to go and play 7. All the little demos that I've seen people play online, I saw some people play the beta version where you got like a small part of the story, and a lot of that stuff kind of harkened back to what I loved so much about the very first Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. Because it got away from, hey, there's this crappy corporation and blah, blah, blah. And it went to, hey, survive this.
The horror. Yeah. So, Josh, if I send you my VR, will you promise to record your entire playthrough and put it on YouTube for us? Because I kind of want to see that, and I'm too fucking of a chicken shit to play it myself.
I would play it. I have no issues there.
I could play it like normally, but in VR, I may have a heart attack. Like, I don't know.
It looks like it's so
it's fucking
creepy,
intense.
and I just.
Jen, when is the last time you did like VR? Like, have you tried it recently?
I never have.
Oh, so you don't really know if it'll make you nauseous or not?
Exactly. I've never been anywhere that had it set up for me to demo, and I'm not gonna that is something that I won't. Pull the plug. That's not the right. That is not the right words.
Sure, that sounds about right.
I was thinking, take the plunge. That's what I was thinking.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that until I know whether or not it's going to make me sick. Because, I don't have any issues with normal, 3-dimensional type games. Like, I know some people who can't play like Grand Theft Auto, and it makes them sad because they get motion sickness really bad. I don't have that, but I do get motion sickness in certain circumstances, like the ball cam in Rocket League. Absolutely, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So, I'm just afraid that VR would do that to me. I'd like to see it, but I
think if we ever end up getting together, we should definitely. I'll have to bring it over because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's something I forgot to say in my now playing is I took the plunge and got the VR, and it is fucking amazing, guys. Like, especially for a group dynamic, like a big group of people, they have a beautiful library of party games and shit. Like, there's one where you put the VR set on and you're holding a bomb, and you have to literally turn it around, describe it to the other people in the room who can't see the bomb, but they have the instructions on how to defuse it.
That game is so cool. They have a version of that that's not in VR as well, but I feel like that would be really cool actually in VR.
It really is, because I was playing with my wife and we were just yelling at each other, but also enjoying it. And like, you know, because you see the thing in VR, it feels real. It feels so immersive. They did a really good job with it. I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I think it looks amazing. But yeah, you're holding the thing, turning it around, you know, having to cut the wires and stuff. So you feel like you're actually dealing with this thing. Your heart gets racing, and my wife's in the back, you know, okay, what does it say? What is it? I'm telling you what it said. No. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. And then it blows up in your face and you're like, oh, fuck this shit. And you have to take it off.
So Ben, let me ask, with the VR side of the world there, I saw the commercial and I posted it in the chat there. The Beat Sabers thing where it's supposed to be like the lightsabers to the music.
Oh yeah, I have to try that.
Is that available in there, or is that
yeah, I'm sure it is. I saw something in the PlayStation Store the other day because I was looking for demos to kind of fuck around with. But if it's anything like this game I'm playing, Thumper, it's going to be amazing. I don't know. I think I posted I posted a video out of it on the chat. I'll have to post it again, but it's awesome. Any kind of that, like, you know, interactive rhythm stuff is amazing in VR. I love it. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Samba de Amigo, VR.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're digging it because Ryan picked it up and he seems, says it's collecting dust for him. So I was worried about the same thing for you, but I'm glad it's the total opposite.
Well, you know, Ryan doesn't. Ryan's more interested in games that are pieces of shit. So I don't know. How's that?
Hi, Ryan.
Love you, Ryan.
Is that why you still the Monster Hunter?
Oh, is he playing it though? Is he playing it?
Yes. I'm kidding.
No, I mean, I can see where Ryan was coming from. He got it he got it a while ago, and there wasn't much to be excited about. I mean, there was, but you know, the hype kind of came back with Skyrim, which is amazing also, by the way, and Farpoint, which is, I haven't really played much of it, but man, I can't tell you guys how, like, it is legitimately amazing. Like, it is, when I still put it on and I have a smile on my face the entire time.
Oh, nice.
It's that good. And I would send it to you guys if you really want to try it. It's not that bulky. I'll Amazon Prime that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone who's listening and has done VR before or doesn't get queasy, you know, likes a lot of action in your face. It's definitely worth it. Right now they have a great library, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the PS Plus now is offering a PSVR freebie every month, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, they haven't for the past little while.
I think they said they're ditching the PS3 and the Vita stuff, but I think in response to that, they're going to start doing. Yeah, that sucks.
It's in a year, so it's March 2019 they dropped, but I think they're still only committing to 2 games for the PS4 a month, which kind of is disappointing. Because they're just killing off the other 2. I mean, PS3 okay because it's been forever, but the Vita is just gonna kind of end it for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah,
I kind of wonder how that's going to come about because, you know, with all the freebies that are out there, you know, I wonder, you know, you have to have your membership set up for the freebies. And I wonder if that's just going to be one of these like, well, you rent these until we're all done with PlayStation Network or whenever we, you know, take off the access for, you know, PlayStation 4. Because, you know, there's going to be something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know, there's not.
Well, I think it's
PlayStation 4 isn't going to be the have all beat all.
Yeah, you'll have to have downloaded once they do kill it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for the original Wii, I think if they haven't killed it yet, like the eShop, or they are soon. I remember seeing that going by. It's been like a few months ago. There was a post about it somewhere that, you know, that they're killing the eShop for that console. So you kind of have to have everything downloaded, or else you're just kissing it goodbye.
Yeah, or I feel like they may actually be able to incorporate their PS Now program and just be like, okay, we're getting rid of the PS3 stuff, but here's a membership for a couple months or whatever to the PS Now, because that seems like it's a service that can kind of go on into perpetuity. It's really pretty cool. Actually, I did it one time. Played a little Shadow of the Colossus before it came out for PS4.
There you go.
I've yet to try it out. I never tried the PS Now thing. And that's it about that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, one quick mention for my now playing as well is that I rented NieR Automata, and I am freaking digging it against all expectations because it doesn't seem like my kind of game. But I've been watching reviews and reading reviews, and it's worth a shot. I'll talk about it more once I spent more time with it, and I don't want to spoil too much because I know you guys are kind of interested because I was talking about it. But
I'll give us a quick intro, like just what kind of game it is, style, and
It's a little bit of everything, isn't it?
It's really a bit of everything. It's just in terms of the gameplay itself is consistent from what different mechanical spaces and views you're in. Like that stays the same, but you can go from bullet hell 2D shooter to a kind of Star Foxy, dual stick shooter to a 2D platformer to a 3D adventure. And the combat and the controls are all consistent in all those different things that it switches to seamlessly. And it's kind of a mindfuck as you play it because you're like, oh my god, how is this happening? And it doesn't feel weird.
Wow, that's trippy.
And you've got like the combat, if I can try to describe it, it's like a mix of Final Fantasy 15, like the quick lightning reaction type mixed with Bayonetta. I mean, it is a Platinum Games game, so there's like that, crazy Devil May Cry Bayonetta combat to it. Mixed with again like bullet hell stuff flying at you, like so shoot 'em up and hack and slash and everything. It's really unique. It's weird, it's fun, and I can't wait to play more.
Huh? So like The Sims.
Exactly like The Sims in Stardew Valley.
Well, so is the story compelling? Like, can you get a little bit about that?
From what I've heard, it gets increasingly crazy and deep the more you go on. Like the introduction, like just to start off, without going too much into detail, like you kind of feel like you're coming into like a pivotal moment in the story, and then you'll find out more about it later.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, so it's like they kind of throw you into it, and you're kind of trying to decipher and figure out what the hell's going on, and then things start to make more sense once you get through that first act. But
cool.
Yeah, like for me, like I'm not an anime fan, but it's kind of got that tinge all over it. You're like these androids protecting humanity against machines, and really flashy kind of stuff. It's really goes against the mold for what I usually gravitate towards, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, like I said, I saw it out there for sale, and I almost bought it because, like, after we did our show with the Video Games Awards, I heard that it actually did pretty well with the awards.
It went for, I think, got nominated everywhere. Didn't win much other than for the soundtrack, which is friggin' great. Again, something I read in the reviews, is that there's like the way they composed for it is that, there's this, the same area that you can be in can have 9 different versions of the same song that, go in and out of seamlessly depending on what's happening.
Oh, wow.
So there's, like on the technical front, there's a lot of interesting stuff with the sound and the visuals and all that. And, the similar situation for me. I saw it on sale a couple of times and just, had my finger hovering over buy now. And I'm like, no, I'll wait. That doesn't look like something I'll enjoy. And then, start reading about it and like, oh, well, maybe I should have. So that's why I rented it for now. But I'm probably going to be picking it up in the next time.
Is it still on sale right now?
It's on sale in the Square Enix sale right now on PSN, but I've seen it go for a lot cheaper for a physical copy here. So I'm kind of just holding off for now.
Yeah, I think Amazon had it on sale.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of these every once in a while. I have a couple of sites that's like, here's a daily deal of whatever, or here's something. And it's shown up like 2 or 3 times in there for half price, if not maybe even a little bit less than, or right around that area. So.
Oh, and there is a demo for it. So if you're curious, you can try it out. Because it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much the first act of the game that I was talking about. Like, that's all in the demo.
Nice.
What do you think, Jen? Does it sound interesting as an anime fan? High five.
I mean, it does. I watched the... Excuse me, I'm having a problem here. I watched the speed run of it done by that half-coordinated guy, like, during Awesome Games Done Quick. And I know.
Oh man, when you share that guy, he's so cool, man.
Yeah, 400,000 times I've talked about this thing, but nobody wants to hear about this again.
No?
Don't put words in our mouth.
Well, maybe somebody does. I mean, I would be happy to talk about it, but I watched the speed run that he did, so I don't really know anything about the story, but like, I think it looks like an interesting game, and I knew enough to know that it changes like gameplay styles pretty frequently, and it's got a little bit of everything. And something that is interesting about it, just from his perspective, is that he's able to do it all with one hand. Like,
And
he can
that's
remap
just-
all of those controls.
Yeah,
to where
that's
he
just
can make
impressive
that.
to me because like I feel like I suck at it. Like I'm granted I'm only a couple of hours in, but like I'm struggling with controls just because a lot of it is twitchy and quick reactions. So the fact that he can play it like that is just like wow.
Yeah.
I'll get good at it at some point, but I don't have that kind of a handicap getting in the way on top of just the game being somewhat complex.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Major props.
Yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. How he does that.
And he seems like a really genuinely nice person too, so it really helps because he's got a good sense of humor while he's doing everything, and it's fun to watch. But that's not really the
Dr.
same.
Disrespect won for best streamer in the Game Awards instead of him.
Well, that's
He's
just
nominated,
because
but-
he's more popular.
Yeah.
Everybody knows his name.
Yep.
No comment.
Which I didn't until somebody else shared it with me. So
Yeah, I didn't either. Is he like a douchebag or something?
I think that's more or less what he's known for.
he kind of plays himself to be very white trashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the feel I got. I didn't see anything. I don't watch him, but from
I think it's an act, but
Right,
okay.
it's
from
not-
the news articles.
It's a
there's
character,
always
yeah.
controversy
Yeah.
I saw about him. He seems like that.
it's not that he is necessarily an asshole on his own, but like that is what he portrays.
that's the shtick. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense now.
So.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
I'll have more to say next time once I've spent more time with it, but this is going to be an eventual buy for me.
Yes. So, are we done with now playing?
I think we need to
think
be at
so.
this point.
I know, like, we have been now playing for a hot minute.
We should just make an episode called
I'm
Now
still
Play.
playing right now, guys.
No comment. I cannot, for example, tell you that they updated Secret of Mana to where it shows the character portrait on the ring menu now because people complained about not being able to tell who they were looking at.
Fake news. Fake news.
Settings wise. I can't tell you that happened though. That's not something that I would know. Moving on. So I think we wanted to briefly at this point talk about our PS Plus freebies that we've
Are
tried
we able
out.
to do anything briefly, honestly? Like,
We can
just-
try.
let's just not set those expectations.
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there as for all of us. Briefly. We're going to try to talk about these PS Plus freebies, which I think
Yeah.
amounts to Bloodborne
And Ratchet and Clank.
and Ratchet and Clank.
Yes. A big month.
I did get like I said, the bombing busters or whatever. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
If you like Bomberman, it's pretty much just Bomberman all over again. So, except the enemies are a little smarter. Whereas before they had to like walk in lines and they'd bounce off stuff and come back. This time, if you set out a bomb, they'll go to a corner and just like wait for it to explode and then come back out. So, yeah. So other than that, nothing too much going on there.
It still sounds kind of fun, though. I have
It
very
is.
limited experience with Bomberman, but there was one in particular that I played quite a bit, and I liked it. So, might have to
I was a
actually
big
try it
fan
out.
of the old Bomberman series.
Yeah, I think we had one that was on the TurboGrafx. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but I played it quite frequently. I liked it.
Classics.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. So,
Bloodborne.
Ratchet and Clank or Bloodborne?
Probably
Either or.
Bloodborne, I would say.
Bloodborne first, then. Dan, it's your show.
It's my show. What?
Well, I don't. I mean, I've played it a little bit.
I played a decent
I've-
amount as well. A couple years, months ago, maybe. I don't remember. But yeah, Dan definitely has the most recent experience.
Oh, I didn't know you played it, Ben.
Oh yeah, I was pretty I mean, I was always a Souls fan. Like I love Dark Souls through. I played it starting with Demon Souls, and it was fucking awesome. And this game is the first one on the PS4 that's like made for the PS4, and it looks beautiful. but
Well,
I think I don't remember it too well.
I'll
Beautiful
just
is
break
not
this
the
with you
word.
now and say I haven't played all that much. I got it at launch, and it was my first one that I played since Demon Souls. And Demon Souls I rented, and I played it for a half hour, and I said, "Fuck this." So like I dig the look of Bloodborne, and then I was playing Destiny, so I'm going to blame it on that I didn't want to learn another game that I needed absolute muscle memory for to be good at. So it fell by the wayside, and then I had someone that was looking for it, and I ended up selling it for almost as much as I had bought it for then. So I kind of said, well, ciao. So since then, I started playing Dark Souls 3 a couple of months ago, and, Bloodborne showed up as a freebie. So I'm like, hey, well, this will be my second chance. And I played about 20 minutes just before recording, and I will be playing it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the summary.
I feel like we all played it to about the same point, like the three of us who tried it.
Yeah, I played 15, 20 minutes worth of it, just to kind of see what it was all about. And it seemed like it was a fine game. I really didn't get far enough into it to really go in depth. Just kind of roaming around the one courtyard, killing a couple of things and breaking boxes. But
that's about where I am.
But outside of that, I mean, it seems like the game mechanics will be okay. Maybe a little clunky to start off, but we'll see where that kind of goes. I really haven't got a chance to peek into the other weapons or anything like that, so I don't know if there's going to be any difference with that. But from what I hear from Buddy and Jake and some other people that play the game, it's like they're super crazy all about it. I mean, I think Jake was talking about playing through it 2 or 3 times, and
oh snap!
Yeah, like
Bloodborne?
playing all. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So, like,
well, it's like Dark Souls. There's it's the RPG element is that the story will change based on the actions that you take as you progress. So I'm sure he's going to want to see every ending.
I didn't know that there was like a difference in what.
Yeah. Like I didn't play much of it. Like I got through the first boss, and that's where I kind of left it on my original playthrough. But I definitely plan on playing it more. But I know that in Dark Souls, that's definitely a thing. Is who you talk to and at what moment, and who you kill and who you don't, and what items you pick up and when can have a huge impact on how everything else will happen.
Yeah, I overheard them in a party talking about you had to not kill this one guy, but then you had to. Like, you learn through the story that he thinks everything that you're saying is a lie. So something about like, if you tell him, oh, don't go to the grocery store or something like that, that's where I'll go. So you apparently have to maneuver a couple of different characters to the same spot by kind of paying attention to what goes on with them like that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting little twist.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
I don't know how I feel about it. Contrary to what people would probably expect, the combat is not my problem with it, at least not yet. I haven't played enough to really be like, I hate this so much. It is more the setting that doesn't do it for me, and just the style.
That's what I dig about it.
I was going to say.
Like, it's so, and I don't know what's happened. Like, maybe I've reached a point in my life where I just want things to be bright and colorful and happy.
My Little Pony.
Well, it is a Souls game, so there are multiple zones as well. You're not just stuck in that one.
I mean, that's probably true, but I feel like everything that I've seen from Souls and Bloodborne, because I've seen playthroughs of it, not fully, but not, quite extensively.
Like enough to get an idea.
No,
yeah.
the Game Grumps did play entirely through Bloodborne, and I watched most of that. So,
oh, fair enough. So you probably know more than us about the game then, or at least story-wise and progression.
Kind of. But it's all so dark and gloomy, and everything is barren. I don't know. I like worlds that feel more alive. And I think
have fun storming the castle.
I can't help it. I don't know. It's just, I don't really dig the Victorian feel that it's got going on. I got out to that because, you do the intro thing, and then you karate chop the wolf, and then you die, and then you get your weapons, and whatever. And you finally get out of that room and you're like in this courtyard and there's just nothing there. Except for the things that are popping up, the dead people, or I'm assuming they're dead. They were lying on the ground until they decided to attack me, so that to me
do you like
dead.
I don't think you like horror games. I'm trying to think if you like horror games at all.
I don't. Like, I was thinking about that too. I was looking through my list of things that I've played, for a while. It's all been, it may be serious, but it's not
right. It's not like
dark.
Yeah. Right.
And
I think that's the point of this game is kind of like to build that atmosphere of, suspense. You don't know what's going on around the corner and it's just, depressing. But I feel you.
See, I dig that more than like the Resident Evil kind of horror. Like I like the setting, the darkness of it, it's grim. It's, okay, yeah, you don't know what's lurking around the corner, but it's not going to be a jump scare. That mechanic to me, or that storytelling, for me, it just feels cheap. Like I've never been a fan of it, and not because I get scared by it. Just it's you're just waiting for the next kind of adrenaline rush over the corner, but not because of the gameplay, just because something's jumping out at you they're not expecting.
I've been jump scared in Bloodborne before when I go over. I'm like, fuck.
I can see
Also,
that.
maybe I haven't gotten there yet, but
I can see that being a thing.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to like the second and third level? Have you beaten the first two bosses?
I bought the first boss, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it gets really bad. Not bad like horrible, like bad just in, you start to see, oh shit, I have a lot to learn, and these guys are fucking ridiculous. Because that's my problem with the game is I'm so used to playing with shields and being able to kind of take the hits and study a little bit and then get my groove. Man, I'm so bad at the dodging and being naked.
Again, see, I like Bloodborne in the little bit of time that I played more than Dark Souls 3 just for that, because I don't dig the shields as much. I know tanking is your thing in it, and any game where you can, that's your jam. Mm-hmm. But me, I like that I have to play more aggressively. I've got to dodge, and then if I get hit, I need to hit back to get, to regain my health, and I'm really enjoying that about it.
That's really the only thing about it that kind of appeals to me, is the fact that you have to be a little more aggressive with the combat, because, I'm Rambo. That's
aggressive.
My style.
Racist bastards. What's that?
What, Ben? No.
Just kidding.
Love you.
I just
fucking brown tanks. God damn it.
I guess I'm really just not into the whole dark atmosphere thing. The more I think about it, the more I realize that and anything that I play, I like it to be colorful and vibrant. I want it to
Final
be...
Fantasy 13? That's colorful and vibrant. It's so vibrant, it's got a character named.
And actually, speaking of Final Fantasy though, Dan, if you remember when we talked about Final Fantasy 15, and there was a point when I was like, fuck this game and everything that it stands for, that would be the difference between the first part of the game and the part of the game that I hated.
Okay.
If you think about it.
Because there's this kind of post-apocalyptic area.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's where you stopped.
Yeah. I mean, I played the whole game. I finished the game.
Whereas I get it's just funny because I was the opposite. I'm like, ooh, this just got deep now.
Yeah. There was that one zone. There was that chapter 13 or whatever where it was just absolutely the worst thing that could have ever happened to anybody, to any game ever. Why did they do this? It's the worst. And it took forever to get through it. And then once you got through it, it was just like, what is this?
Welcome to Final Fantasy VIII for me.
Everything has gone to shit.
Well, it's funny that we bring that game up because they just released the Royal Edition with all the DLC and all the everything. And I've been meaning to go back to see what they redid to that chapter because apparently they
added chapters too. It goes further now, and
I'll have to go back to it at some point.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of intrigued by that version because of the DLC and the extra content, and I never went back to it after they fixed Chapter 13.
Yeah, me neither. I got the platinum on my first playthrough, and then I haven't gone back to it. But
anyway, yeah.
So it is a good game. Yeah. You guys would recommend buying it?
I liked it. It's very different for a Final Fantasy game. It had problems with the story. I still liked it overall, but there were issues with it that they intended on fixing and supposedly have. But no, I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, you platinumed that game, right?
Yeah, it was I think, if I'm not mistaken, my first platinum even.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
I think my first official platinum was Horizon.
That was my first, and then my second was Final Fantasy. Yeah.
My first platinum was Battlefield 2. 3. 2. One of those Battlefields.
The only platinum on my record was not earned by me.
Uh-oh.
But if anybody was interested in what game it is, Life is Strange.
Was it Penis McDoucheface?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up.
Hey, buddy, for listening.
That is exactly.
You have a penis face, and your mustache is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Stop.
Looks like a bunch of pubes curled around your face.
Oh, God. Where were we? Final Fantasy 15, right? Yeah, I still liked it.
Yes, it was fine. I don't want to talk about it again. At the end. I don't know if we had that conversation on the show or not, but I have opinions, and they differ
on the show.
opinions.
I don't think we did. Yeah,
so
I liked the ending. You hated it. We had very, very total opposite.
For the same reason, though. You liked it for the reason that I hated it.
I love how we passionately get off topic and tangents on the show.
Right? I know. I was like, we're
pretty
totally
much
off
is
topic.
our MO.
Yeah, we're totally
Now
off
playing.
topic right now.
Why do we even call it now playing? Just
Our topics
call
are
it the episode.
Damn it.
Oh my gosh. Let's bring it back. Let's try to bring it back.
All right. So anyway, Bloodborne. Any more of that? I think have we beat the
oh yeah
the it's not colorful enough for Jen horse to Bloodborne.
Hey, let's what is it? A Hatchet and Crank, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. No,
Yes.
I've never played that series before, but I am interested to hear what it's about.
I
bright and
love
colorful.
it. So I will let all of you talk first, and then I will talk about it.
Ratchet and Clank was
Well,
the first
I'll
game
go first
series.
then. Or no, Jen's going. Go ahead,
I'm
Jen.
sorry, I'm talking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done.
butchered that name. I'm sorry.
We're going. Carrying the torch. I'm doing
For the
it.
Ratchet and Clank reference, the part of Jen will be played by Josh. No.
Tell us about Rinky and Clonk.
I'm sorry. We'll just be
Kidding.
quiet now.
Kidding.
Just be quiet.
No, you won't.
I know, it's really difficult for me. Ratchet and Clank. Yes. I played them when they were on PS2. All three of them.
Me
the
too.
originals. And that was the first game series that or games in general that I ever played with an action replay, which is what the Game Shark turned into.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want a rhino with unlimited ammo?
And if you don't know what a rhino is,
What does that even mean?
It's like
But it sounds awesome.
There's a weapon that you could get that this little street sales guy, you had to go and their currency system is bolts. So every time you kill something, a bunch of bolts fall all over the place, and you can collect them. And that's what you buy ammo and weapons and things like that with. But there's this guy you run into in the second stage, and he's seedy little whatever dude, and he's like, psst. And he has you come over there, and he talks about this. He's like, this weapon talks about this rip you a new one thing, and it's literally just like a multi-fire 9 rocket. I don't remember if they were heat seeking or not, but it's just the have all beat all weapon of the game. You just fire it, and 9 rockets go randomly all over the level and blow everything up, and you're just like, yay!
Is it in this one? Because now
I think
has
so.
to be.
Okay, nice.
If there's not a rhino in this game, and I haven't found that guy yet. So
Is that weapon meant to be gotten at the end or something? Or?
oh yeah,
No,
it's many millions of bolts that it costs to get it, and
Gotcha.
the ammo is probably pretty scarce normally.
Yeah, the standard gun in that game is 5,000, 6,000 bolts. If you go a little crazier, you can get into the 12 to 15,000 bolt level. But it's literally 1 million bolts to buy it.
So I
It's
may have had
you've played this enough, so have fun weapon.
Yes. It is so good though. That
Gotcha.
was the best way to go through that game. The rhino.
It's like GoldenEye's golden gun kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But I'm a big fan. The remake is really good.
Yeah, it did change a little bit from the original on the PS2. So as far as I've gone through, I'm like, that wasn't in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of redid the story. And actually what's funny is it came out around the same time as the movie came out. And so they even kind of tried to play off of the movie a little bit or joke around about it.
Well, it is exactly the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, good stuff. I agree with Jen. I hit a spot back in the old PS2 days where I got heavy into platform games. So Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter,
Yes.
all those games were my jam. And whenever Ratchet and Clank came out, I just happened to be at the movie theater and I was like, oh, hey, they're having a Ratchet and Clank movie? And then I heard the game was coming out and I'm like, all right. And then it just happened to be the situation that it was the same, game. But it's remastered a bit. Some of the weapons are a little bit different. They kind of, revamped how you do some of the things here and there. But overall, it's very, very comfortable, very likable.
So it's a remake of the first game, like, because I'm new to them too, and like I've been playing with my kids so far, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah,
Like
it is too, and the story is great. There's not like any like weird parts of the story where you're like, oh man, it's like, yeah, it fits, and there's enough funny little things here and there. Like that you can kind of get through.
The humor is there, like it's quirky, it's funny, it's like I'm digging it so far. Like there's nothing to to criticize.
I haven't played it before. I'm trying to visualize it. This is about the bear and the bird in his backpack, right?
It's
Are you serious, Ben? Are you trolling or are you serious?
No, I've never played any of these platform games before.
No, that's not the question that I asked you. Are you being serious or are you trolling?
No, I am being serious. I really don't know.
Okay. No, that's Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. So this is the one with the yellow-haired kid and the weasel thing?
No.
I'm done. You guys take him. He's your kid now.
It's like I had to mute because I was laughing so much.
Ben, it's kind of like The Sims. It's very much like The
Sims. Fair enough. Thank you, Jeff. Just continue. My bad.
I'm done with him. I am officially divorcing my co-host Ben. That's it. We're done.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game though. It's one of those it's kind of one of those games for all ages. If you can get into a platforming game, there's a little bit of collection here and there, not too crazy on the grind. Like it's just whenever you're trying to get bolts for like weapons and things like that. But it's not a very like big grindy game. It's you go to one planet and find a couple different things that you need, and then you go to another planet and you find a random person that's stranded that needs help getting somewhere or doing something, and you help them out, and they're like, "Oh, hey, here's this thing. Go back and give this to that guy you talked to like 3 planets ago, who's randomly like my cousin or something." And
right.
so they end up like giving you a weapon, or they give you like the magnet boots where you can walk on metal pieces or across the level, or grind boots where you can, if there's these metal poles that are throughout some of the levels, you can use them as like a skate grinding, like rollerblades or something. But just an overall good game to play, no matter your age group. And it's very colorful too, because I think that's why Jen likes it.
Yep, it pretty much is.
and it looks great in 4K. Like I wasn't expecting it, like just because it's my first time firing it up. I'm like, oh my god, like it looks like I'm playing like a Pixar game almost.
Oh,
yeah. Like I'm playing a movie. Yeah.
I don't think I've turned it on since I got the new TV. I should do that.
I think you should, because it's a very, very pretty game.
I bet. I mean, it already looked really good.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for those of you that know me and know how my video game, my video game forearm tattoo piece, I have Ratchet and Clank on my forearm. Just in case you needed to know that.
Do you have Clank or just Ratchet?
I have Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet is more of a, Clank is more of a backpack equivalent in this reference, but But yes, I have both of them.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure I can gather. I think I have a picture of it somewhere from whenever I was getting it done that I can throw in for said show notes.
Sweet.
We've lost a Ben.
What just happened? Okay.
He's back.
And he's back.
I heard the sound and I went, wait, that was the sound of somebody leaving.
Yeah, I looked. I was like, wait, what?
You can't quit us?
He's probably upset that I divorced him.
That or he stopped breathing. The blood got too.
Is he actually back?
Maybe.
And are we talking about strategy whatnotteries?
Well, at this point, yeah, let's mark the time now for the to edit this out.
Okay.
It's up to you guys. Or what are we? An hour and a half?
I don't think it's going to be. Oh, go ahead.
It's worth like an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay, I know that a good 15 minutes of that too is us like trying to get stuff going at the beginning and Ben not being here.
That's
so
me taking that into account.
Oh, okay.
So we're at about the hour and 43-minute mark on the recording as far as when we just started talking about whether or not we're going to talk about strategy stuff.
Okay. I think it's a brief topic. I mean...
I'm worried about it being very long.
Oh, yeah.
Josh, I don't think it's a brief topic. That's the problem. I really want to talk about it, though. I really do.
Or we announce it for the next show?
I think let's do that because I really want to give it the time that I think it probably is going to get, and not feel like we're trying to rush. Yeah.
Ben's going to try to come back in. Like I said, he can't hear us, so I said try to fix it because we're cutting now anyway. Yeah, like I'm worried about this, being another hour and a half because I know that I could derail on this for a long time talking about some of the first games that I got into on PC were
we derailed in the middle of PS Plus freebies and talked about Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like partially my fault too. And we all just went over here.
Test.
There you go.
I think so. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, it's all good. We're just discussing. We're thinking of ending here if you agree, because we're already like almost 2 hours and we haven't even hit that topic yet.
Oh yeah, we could still keep talking about Ratchet, right? I didn't mean to like interrupt you guys.
Oh no, you're good.
I was listening. It was good stuff.
We're pretty well done there, I think. But
so we can kind of segue and announce the topic for the next show. We'll talk about strategic turn-based games in the next show. Blah blah blah.
Or I could ask you guys this, depending on it really depends on you guys too, about what your comfort level is, if you want to keep going or not, and we can just cut it out and stick it in the next. I don't know. Up to you.
Yeah, well, we'll need to segue to an ending, that's for sure. Because what was the last thing that we were saying? We saw Ben pop out, but just before, did you get the chance to finish a thought? Are you able to go back and listen to it, Jen?
I think we dropped out whenever I was talking. You guys were asking me about the a picture for the show notes.
Right.
Oh yeah,
and we can cut there. Worst case, yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to plan just think of the editing ahead of time.
Yeah. Did we have anything else that other than the RPGs? Did we have anything else that we wanted to go over?
I think that was going to be our.
That was going to be our closer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you want to ask our impressions about Ratchet and Clank because you guys are veterans, whereas I hadn't touched it up until now. Like Ben didn't get a chance to say anything.
Oh, I mean, I didn't even really know what it was about. I mean, I've heard the name before, but I legitimately wasn't sure if it was the bear or the lombax or whatever they are. So.
Yeah, he knows what a lombax is and isn't sure if that's what the game is. I call.
No. I just used Wikipedia while I was fixing it.
It
says the game is about the character Ratchet, a made-up animal called a lombax, and his robot friend Clank. So yeah, I mean, I was just.
I wasn't sure if it was the one with the boy or the bear or the lombax.
The Super Saiyan and the weasel.
Super Saiyan weasel.
That's a fun game too.
I can go back to it and say that, like, it's my first time playing it and I'm enjoying it with the kids, so I'm, curious to see more. Like, because I stumbled on it because my kid would actually, I've got a story with it because
that's good. That's good because
we were like shopping with his with his birthday money with his gift cards, and like we're looking at it and he's like, anyway, so yeah, I can segue to that.
Well, segue to that.
So Josh was talking about his tattoo. We cut there and they'll say, okay.
So, Dan, how's your kid liking it, man?
Well, I mean, I think it's a little too hard for him to play it, like, cause it's the whole, dual stick thing with the aiming for the, the little slight shooter elements to it. So like he has fun watching me play it, but I'm glad it's a freebie because, like for those who know or don't know, like my kid turned 5 couple weeks ago, and we went shopping with his gift cards that he got for EB Games. He's starting to get into a lot of games. We got him the little mini controller as well, so like he's having fun playing some things that that I know he can handle. Yeah. Like the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens. Like he's actually played through most of it himself.
That's awesome.
So long story short, yeah, like we were looking at Ratchet and Clank, and I didn't know it at all, but looked kid friendly enough, but he ended up, putting it aside and saying, I'll get the Sesame Street game because, my brother and sister might like it, which is pretty cool of him. He's that selfless at 5 years old to get for them instead of for himself. I mean, like, I don't think I would have done that for my brother. Love you, Tony, but,
no, you don't even know his name. Damn it. Chris.
So anyway, but we saw like on our pay-per-view TV here that the movie was there. So like, he's like, let's watch it. And he was digging it. And he's like, well, maybe I'll go back and buy the game. And then it showed up in PS Plus. So it's a win-win.
Perfect.
For my situation. I'm looking forward to playing it more with him because he's enjoying it so far, having seen the movie and kind of seen that the game follows it.
Yeah. My 5-year-old is definitely Ratchet and Clank. He's very, very, very big on the pronunciation. I was doing this thing and I was Clank, and I was like, all right, cool. Thanks, bud. Good job.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
I still like the original version of the story better.
Yeah, I agree.
What is the premise of it, if you don't mind, Jen?
Ratchet is a mechanic who lives on a backwater planet, and
he wants to be a ranger or something like that.
He wants to be in the Rangers, so he ends up going and attempting to be in the Rangers, and then things are happening.
Cool. I like that.
Long and short.
Yeah.
So he has this big dream that he wants to be a part of these Space Rangers, the intergalactic Space Ranger guys. And so he gets an opportunity to go try out, doesn't make it. But somewhere along the lines in there, they have these little like death robots that were supposed to be being created. And Clank just happens to be the defect that didn't get built correctly, or is not big and strong enough to destroy everything, and gets kicked out. And they go to try to destroy Clank whenever he's already become alive. And so he kind of breaks his way out into freedom instead of being destroyed. So the company has robots that are trying to come kill Clank, but he crash lands on Ratchet's planet.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember what happened. I knew that something happened to like drive Ratchet off of that planet.
Yeah. So Ratchet ends up getting a hold of Clank, and they try to go get a couple things taken care of and go kind of check into a couple of things. And, it's like one of these, like one thing leads to another. They look into this, they look into something else, and it ends up being it ends up being a situation where this guy who's making the killer robots is actually trying to create his own planet because the planet that the robots is on has too much pollution. So basically what they're going to do is go and destroy a bunch of other planets to use the pieces from those planets to make their own planet.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
What a douche.
So, yeah. And he's just literally like one of these giant corporate a-holes, that's trying to, this is better for everybody.
Doctor business.
Really. Yeah. So.
That's a cool premise. I like it. It's very, kid, it can resonate with kids.
The movie and the new game bases more around the whole intergalactic ranger thing, because it's basically, if you watch the movie, he went to go try to be a ranger, and that they didn't have him be a ranger initially, and then they kind of used him to forward their agenda.
It reveals some stuff a lot sooner, I think, than the original game did. And I'm not going to say what, but like there are some things that I was like, oh, they really just came on out there with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they even kind of mashed in a little bit of like Ratchet and Clank 2 in there, because the one scientist guy, they kind of revealed him in there. He wasn't really part of the first one. I mean, briefly with like one or two of the enemy robots, but he was more of the second Ratchet and Clank than he was the first. So,
See, I
the
don't
first
remember
was
the story from the second or the third one very well.
I just think it's funny though, because every time that Jen gets like, messed up about something, her favorite word to use is blarg. And that's actually the name of the
bad guy.
enemy, the bad guy's race. They're the blarg. So I'm like, are you talking about Ratchet and Clank? No,
He really is a racist.
Yeah, they're pretty much. I'm just saying.
I think blarg for me is more the enemy from, I think it's Yoshi's Island. I think there might be a blarg in Mario World as well, but I know it's in Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. I think that the little lava monster things that whenever you were going through the lava parts and they had the skulls you had to stand on, and every once in a while the little eyes that would crop up and try to eat you.
The lava dinosaurs.
Is the Ratchet and Clank, is the movie anywhere that we can stream?
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
I'm kind of curious. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have my kid watch it with me.
That or just let me know. I'll send it to you in the mail for a little bit.
Oh, right on, man. Thanks. I'll send you that VR too.
Oh. Don't worry. I won't let the kids get any PB&J on it.
Oh, PB&J.
Yeah. PB&J.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank definitely has a special place in my heart. I've got all the ones that came out for PS2. I did not get into the PS3 world, so I've never had the PS3, so I missed out on the version that came out there.
I don't know if I have that one or not.
I think that was more Clank driven as opposed to Ratchet.
Oh,
and Clank.
That's right. There was another game. I don't have that. I thought maybe they remastered it in the middle somewhere.
Nope. So I don't have that one, but I'm definitely a big fan of the series. I even got a kick out of the Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, which was they had one that was kind of like an arena turn-based. It had a little bit of story to it, but it was one of those, like, you had to go in and kill so many enemies in a certain amount of time type deal.
I don't know about that.
Do you play as Clank, or is he more of like an NPC, like a helper?
You do play as him sometimes.
Yep. It's a little bit of both.
Cool.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of it now.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just passionate about it. Yeah.
I'm not quite...
Dan's actually excited for to be able to poop on it because, you pooped on Monster Hunter.
Nah, come on.
Dan is the bigger person in this case.
Whoa.
But yeah, I liked Ratchet and Clank, and that was. Did they come out around the same time as the Jak and Daxter?
They were very close in the old timeline.
Because I played Jak and Daxter at the time when they released, but then Ratchet and Clank I didn't get into until much later. But I bought them all at the same time, and
it's just another series I never got into either. I don't not because I was avoiding them. I don't know. I'd have to look back when exactly it was.
Yeah, they're so
just never
good.
played them.
They're so good.
That's the Bear and the Bird, right?
I need them to remaster or remake Jak and Daxter in the same way that they did Ratchet and Clank, because I love that game so much. That is my jam.
Well, publishers, if you're listening, you got one vote.
I don't think I'm the only vote on that one.
I'm just saying, there's one guarantee.
Just one.
Just one vote.
There can be only one.
Well, there is only one.
The Highlander vote.
There is only one Jen. So That's a thing. Anyway, are we done? Are we good? Do we want to
I think so.
lead into what we're going to talk about next time that we were going to talk about this time, but we are us, and we...
Hashtag spoiler stories.
We're going to talk about our favorite PS3 games, right?
That'll be a very quiet game for me.
Wait, Josh, you didn't play the PS3, or you didn't have one?
No,
or?
I did
wow.
not. I had a very poor time in my life at that point, so
I feel you.
I went from PS2. If it wasn't for a friend of mine that had a Xbox that was like, hey, if you can fix this, you can have it because it was broken. And by broken, I mean he just didn't clean it after his dog had like a giant hairball in it. So I pretty much got a free Xbox.
Nice.
If it weren't for those couple of things, I would probably not have had that reference. But then I got back into it whenever I had a Xbox 360. Played that for a good long while, and then it came down to the point where things worked out. Student loans, etc., were paid off, and other things were brought back up to speed, and it went from there to, all right, well, now we can do this, and I can enjoy myself a little further along the line. So
right.
I took that opportunity, and the wife said, hey, you get to pick which one you want. You get a PS4 or an Xbox One. And I looked at all the games that were out there, and I said, you know what? Everything that's coming out for PlayStation, that games
true.
I play. So, God of War and
Monster
everything.
Hunter, yeah, totally.
Well, I looked at all those titles that were specific. I was never a big Halo player, so really like having Halo for as the only thing that was driving anybody really at that point towards Xbox.
Oh yeah, that was
like, oh wow, that's true.
In terms of exclusives, they've got the short end of the stick this generation. That's for sure. I wasn't taking a jab before. That's what I was saying. That it was an easy choice when you had the decision between the two if you're looking at the games.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next time on Hardcore Casuals.
RPG thingies.
Strategimatical.
Not rocket propelled grenades.
Don't get me started.
Oh man, can we have an episode dedicated to that? That'd be pretty sweet.
Some bronies.
No, seriously, there's a game coming out, right? Weren't you talking about
there is that game that's like, it's not official. They had to actually make it non My Little Pony official because of Hasbro and licensing and whatnot, but it is themed very much like My Little Pony.
You guys like I've successfully 6 times now stalled our ending.
Yes. Ben, stop.
I got more. I can
I'm
keep
easy
going.
to derail. I don't know why.
No, we all are. We all are. It's not just you. I'm just taking advantage to it.
I told you not to get me started. Anyway, next time. Strategimatical turn-based gamey things.
Yeah. And scene.
Figure out what that means, then you'll be looking forward to it.
Until then, campers.
We'll see you in the next video. I'm sorry, podcast.
We'll see you in the next non-video.